everybody. Today we are going to work on Unit 8, Text A, altruism and payment in blood donation, to understand some explicit and significant elements in the controversy between the defenders of paid and unpaid blood donations. The text is an academic journal from the magazine Transfusion and Apheresis Science, which brings comprehensive and up-to-date information to physicians and healthcare professionals involved in the rapid changing fields of transfusion medicine and apheresis. The text falls into 4 parts. The first part is paragraph 1. The author introduces the main argument. Blood donation is a genuine altruistic behavior that can satisfy the need of the country. The second part is paragraph 2 to 5. The author provides the background information of controversy between defenders of paid and unpaid blood donation and lays out the aim of the article. The aim is to make readers understand some explicit elements in the debate. Then the author begins to analyze some elements in the following 2 parts. The third part is paragraph 6 to 10. The author analyzed the philosophical and sociological elements. In this part, he gives the definition of altruism and regards blood donation as altruistic behavior. The fourth part is paragraph 11 to 17. The author analyzes the economic elements. In this part, he compares different definitions of unpaid blood donation in terms of the benefits. The author also implies that unpaid blood donation is the expected goal for all countries to satisfy the needs of blood. The organization of this article is a typical academic writing pattern. At first, the author leads the readers to the major argument and states the aim of the article. After that, he achieves the aim by further illustrations on the main elements. Finally, he restates the main argument. This structure can also be adapted in your academic paper. Now let's take a closer look at each part. The first part leads the readers into the main argument. You can find the argument in the paragraph 1. This paper argues that blood donation is an example of genuine altruism, while the altruistic behavior is incorporated into the self as a role. The author believes that blood donation is a real altruistic behavior by nature. Non-monetary forms of compensation are spurious altruism, which harms the social image of voluntary donation. Let's move to the second part. Introducing the aim of the text. In paragraph 2 to 3, the author provides the background information firstly by introducing the reasons for the persistence of the controversy between the defenders of unpaid blood donation and those of paid donation. In paragraph 4, the author also introduced the main argument made by defenders of paid blood donation. The defenders for paid blood donation believe that no country can achieve a self-sufficient blood supply without acquiring paid donors. And they further argued that paid blood donation also involves a certain level of altruism due to the fact that blood donors do good for other people, even if they themselves benefit from the action. Then the author stated the aim of this paper in paragraph 5. This paper aims to relate concepts of altruism to the activity of blood donation and to analyze some of the explicit elements in this debate, bearing in mind that they have often been poorly differentiated and confused. This sentence pattern, this paper aims to relate A to B and to analyze C, bearing in mind that can also be used in your research paper to state your aim. In the third part, the author analyzed philosophical and sociological elements. He gives the definition of altruism and reviewed the idea that unpaid blood donation is an altruistic helping behavior. If you look at paragraph 7, you will see the sentence that defines altruism. Altruism, known as helping behavior, can be defined as behavior that promotes the well-being of others without consciously taking account of one's self-interest. Altruism is when we act to promote someone else's welfare, even at the risk of the cost of ourselves. The basic principle for altruism is that man has no right to exist for his own sake, and that service to others is the only justification of his existence, and that self-sacrifice is the highest moral duty, virtue, and value. Also in paragraph 7, you will see the sentence that differentiates altruism and egoism. Egoistically motivated helping is directed towards the end state goal of increasing the helper's own welfare, while altruistically motivated helping is directed towards the end state of increasing one's welfare. This sentence means the helping motivated by one's own interest is aimed at increasing his own happiness and benefits. On the other hand, the helping motivated by others' interest is aimed at increasing happiness and benefits of others. The author also explained why altruism should be promoted in our society in paragraph 6. It seems clear that groups with the greatest number of altruistic individuals are best able to survive, because of the benefits that altruism provides to other members. For the lower risk involved in individual altruism, there is a long-term benefit for groups as a whole. This sentence means the groups made up of altruistic people are able to survive because altruism offers benefits to the group at a very low risk to individuals. In the long run, it benefits the whole group. A very important person the author mentioned many times in this article is Titmuss. If you look at paragraph 10, you will find this sentence. Titmuss, one of the true standard barriers of non-remunerated blood donation. A standard barrier means an outstanding leader or representative of a movement, organization, or a political party. For example, Lu Xun was the standard bearer of the literary revolution. Titmuss wrote a classic book which reflects his major ideas towards unpaid blood donation. If you look at paragraph 2, you can see this sentence. It began after the 1970 publication by Titmuss of the book The Gift Relationship: From Human Blood to Social Policy, which had a pivotal influence on changes in the 70s, helping to convert the blood bank sector from paid to unpaid donation. The gift relationship was published with almost immediate policy results. The US government consulted with Titmuss, instituted efforts to stimulate voluntary donation, and mandated the labeling of blood from paid donors. It compared blood donation in Britain and the US. It concluded that the voluntary system is superior in terms of efficiency, efficacy, quality, and safety. Titmuss' most profound conclusions concerned the quality of life and community when people are encouraged to give the gift of life to strangers. When blood becomes a commodity, he argued, its quality is corrupted. In paragraph 9, the author claims that the blood donation is an altruistic behavior by quoting the reasons from Titmuss. Titmuss wrote the classic test that sets out the different reasons why blood donation can be regarded as a prototype of the altruistic act: the impersonal nature of act, the unawareness of who donates and who receives, the fact that only those selected for it can donate, with its selection made by people removed from the donor and recipient, the absence of demands on the part of the donor, the absence of obligations on the part of the recipients, either towards the donor or towards the system itself. The lack of penalization for those who do not donate. In this very long sentence, we need to comprehend the following 6 reasons. Let's work on them one by one. The first one, the impersonal nature of the act. It means the blood donation does not involve personal feelings or relationships. The second one, the unawareness of who donates or who receives. It means people don't know who donates blood and who receives blood. The third one, the fact that only those selected for it can donate, with the selection made by people removed from the donor and recipient. It means only people who are selected can donate blood, and people who are in charge of blood donor section is neither blood donors nor blood receivers. The fourth one, the absence of demands on the part of the donor. It means the blood donors have no demands. The fifth one, the absence of obligations on the part of the recipient, either towards the donor or towards the system itself. Well, it means the recipients of blood have no obligations to donors and the system. The last one, the lack of penalization for those who do not donate. It means people who do not donate blood will not be punished. In the last part of the article, the author analyzed economic elements. In paragraph 11, the author implies that in the long run, the expected goal for all countries is to have non-remunerated blood donation to satisfy the need for blood. In paragraph 12 to 16, he compares different definitions of unpaid donation. In the last paragraph, he explained that a strict definition of paid donation should be adopted to stop damaging the principle of unpaid donation. In this part, you will see a very long sentence in paragraph 17. Any observer will agree that not all that surrounds non-remunerated donation is completely altruistic, and that sometimes too much use is made in some countries of forms of compensation, of gratification that are not monetary, but nevertheless have value. In this sentence, the first two that are placed to lead the object clause, and the last that is placed to lead attributive clause. So the meaning of the sentence is, the observers all agreed that not all the non-remunerated donation is completely altruistic. Sometimes the countries will overuse some forms of non-monetary but valuable compensation. In this part, you will see many words that have the similar meanings with paid or unpaid blood donation. Let's look at the chart. The words related to paid blood donations are remunerate, gratification, incentive, monetary, payment. And the words related to unpaid blood donations are unremunerated, unpaid, and voluntary. Also in this part, you will see many forms of compensations. The forms that belong to paid blood donations are cash payments, cash equivalents, lottery tickets, discounts on merchandise, valuable merchandise, tax deductions, tokens, or prizes that are of such a value as to motivate a potential donor, attendance at meetings, trips, meals, social advantages, personal or group power. The forms that belong to unpaid blood donations are emotional gratification, a feeling of self-esteem, a feeling of well-being toward oneself, small tokens, refreshments, reimbursements of direct travel costs, intangible. Now let's summarize the main idea of the text. The text starts from the author's debate that exists between paid and non-remunerated blood donation, and the author puts forward the concept that blood donation is a genuine altruistic behavior. Altruistic behavior is a behavior that promotes the well-being of others without consciously taking self-interest into account. Blood donation shares all the features of altruism. Furthermore, from historical and current difficulties that exist in countries that depend on paid donations to reach blood products self-sufficiency, it is evident that material incentives for blood donations are not always useful. However, some countries do use some forms of compensation in blood donation, based on their different definitions of non-remunerated blood donation. So far, we have talked about the organization and main idea of the text. In the next episode, we are going to work on a writing task. Thank you.